guys, we are not going to war anytime soon. And what I mean by that is that, like, us squishy people are probably not going to be sent on some large ground invasion into Iran. They're mostly just going to focus on airstrikes and missile launches for now. So put away your fake medical scripts and costumes, because you're not going to have to dodge a draft anytime soon. The US has worked very hard to insulate itself from outside attacks, and our unique geographical position allows that. That's why events like 9/11 or Pearl Harbor are so devastating, because the military apparatus has convinced itself that its borders are impenetrable. But at the same time, the military obsesses over even the smallest vulnerabilities because of their fears that as technology increases, the geographical advantage shrinks. But that's a topic for another time. The reason for this unique position of defense is twofold, though, because since World War II, there has been this obsession within the military on air dominance, meaning aircraft, missiles, whatever you can, bombing from the sky in order to force someone into submission. A lot of this is what fueled the nuclear arms race, but it started with the invention of aerial bombing. This belief that if you pump enough bombs into a country, eventually they'll capitulate. Somehow, 30 plus years of glassing the Middle East hasn't taught us that you can't simply break the will of a people by bombing campaigns. Vietnam, Korea, World War II even taught us that. You just can't break people's spirits by bombing their homes and cities. All that's to say that this war right now, the way that it is very unlikely to come to our borders unless Iran decides to employ long-range missiles against the US, but anybody who has seen the House of Dynamite knows what dominoes will fall down if that kind of thing happens. Nevertheless, our military is poised to be able to bomb Iran for decades without cease, and none of that will force the capitulation of Iran's government nor the stability of a follow-on government. But also, our government is too chicken shit to actually force a ground invasion, and they're too incompetent to actually follow through with something like that anyway. And if they do, that form of escalation will be more an admittance of defeat than anything. And this is among the many reasons why you should stand critical of this administration's handling of this situation. The US president has single-handedly launched a one-sided act of war against another nation, in hand with Apartheid Incorporated, i.e. Israel, for ostensibly no reason. Look at my video from yesterday to understand why I say this. This is the same shit that we protested Russia for. This is the same shit that kicked off World War I. The only thing this thing could invite is destabilization. We have taken out another world leader and hoped that that would just cause the people to rise up and take back that land, not realizing that that land is diverse, full of different cultures, full of different people, and their own little problems. So there's not going to be one person coming back in and taking over and restabilizing that arena. And maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want continual destabilization because they know that with Iran out of the picture, that'll put Israel at the top of the Middle East. And that's really what they want, white control over the Middle East. The only reason this is going to go well for us is because our apparatus is so deeply entrenched that there are many layers before anything like this could reach our borders, barring something highly catastrophic happening. And this is what these guys are banking on, being able to sit back and do this kind of aggressive military action, knowing that it's going to be very hard for that kind of thing to reach back to our borders. Look, at the end of the day, Khomeini being dead is, I don't know, fine. He was a piece of shit, we know that, as with many world leaders. But the second and third order effects of this kind of thing are sure to continue rippling outward. Not just in the physical region, but now with this understanding that there are people who are going to look at other world leaders and be like, well, I think that guy's a piece of shit, maybe I should go kill him and take over his country. So, batten down the hatches, because the true World War III is the friends you made along the way.